All right, everyone. Hello, welcome. We're on episode 7 of Ready, Set, Shag. Sometimes I think that the name of the show is catching people off guard a little bit, especially when I'm like, "Hey, do you want to be on my show, Ready, Set, Shag?" I think when people see that in the DMs, they're like, "I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm ready to shag just yet," which is fine. Which is fine. I know it's a big step for most people, but I'm happy when I'm able to get some people on. And today is no exception. Everyone knows this man. He is a great dude. I've been able to meet him in person. We met in Vegas. We got to shoot the shit. We got to sit down in person and do like a live podcast. It was pretty awesome. He's got some stuff he's working on for me too, as well. Some surprises coming. But I'm give it up, Mr. Flawd TV. How you doing, man?
What's good? How you doing, man?
Oh, I'm doing great, dude. I was stoked when I was able to get you on, and I think was it like next week or the week after you're going to be on the midweek hump. So it's like there's so much good stuff to look forward to.
I'm in there. I'll be on there every week if you wanted me to.
What? Yeah. Well, I don't know, man. It's late. Isn't that past your bedtime though?
Yeah, it is. It is, but I gotta do what I gotta do, bro. I don't sleep anyway, so I gotta try to stay up so I can actually fall asleep at night.
Yeah. Are you an early riser? Is that why you're?
Yeah. I wake up very early. Yeah. Like, so if I get sleep, I wake up at 7. If I don't get sleep, I'll be up at like 3 in the morning. Just sit there, just wait for this one to wake up.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Till we have a baby.
That one being the better half?
Yeah. Because she will sleep. She has like I almost said necrophilia. She has
necrophilia? Is that the right thing?
She has narcolepsy. Is what I was trying to say. That was the wrong word. But yeah, she has like narcolepsy. She can sleep at any time. She can just pass out in like 2 seconds. She lay in the bed, she falls asleep.
That's how I am. Like I could probably, like, even this discussion, I could probably lay my head down right here and I'd be snoring in 5 minutes.
Same thing. That's how she is. It's annoying. I'm kind of jealous. I'm jealous because I've never been that kind of person. It takes a lot of work for me to go to sleep.
Yeah, my chick's the same way. Well, my chick she's jealous. She's like you. We're like, so normally what happens is she'll go to bed early because she wakes up super early. So I'm the night owl, so I'll stay up all night long, just like playing games or whatever. Then I literally just go upstairs, like put my head on the pillow, and I'm snoring. And she's usually like wakes her up when I come in. She's like, "We'd be so loud."
She got to stay up.
Yeah.
I used to hate that. Mo, she would wake up and like, because it's so hard for me to go to sleep. If she wakes up, then I'm like up, and I'd be like, "You can just be a little bit more quiet." I sit here and lay in the bed waiting for you to wake up because I'm nice. I have courtesy. She'll wake up and just start like making noise like it's nothing, slamming doors. She's ridiculous, and she don't even know she's doing it. At least in my head, she doesn't. If she does, then that's like pretty manipulative. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's a POS.
No, man, thanks for coming on. Thanks for chatting, man. You know, I think what I like about this show is that it's so many of us are doing panel shows. You know, we're getting on with like 3 or 4 of our friends, and which is so good. And I think people, the socialization aspect of it is good. But there's a part of me that wanted to like get back to talking to people one-on-one and digging into who people are. And, so this is an opportunity for, I guess, like not for you to tell your story, but for me to ask you questions and people to know you a little bit more. You've been pretty vocal about your story and everything, but it's just kind of another opportunity. And you know what, at the end of the day, it's just good fun,
Yeah.
So
absolutely. I just like having conversations anyway,
Right.
It always turns into something meaningful if like I'm talking to someone that I mess with.
Yeah. And I think even if we sat here and talked about Pokemon cards
we could get to something.
Right. It would lead somewhere and it would just be good. And, we'd touch someone, in a very non-sexual way, someone would be touched
and sexual. Both ways.
Both ways. Right?
Yeah.
I do like to start off conversations with sort of the philosophical side of things. And like, I'm sure you've heard some episodes you may have caught in the past, but like I'm just always interested in people's thought on like, is there a meaning to life? And what is it if there is?
So I think the way I think is that everybody is here for some reason, whether it's good or bad. Everyone's a tool to like get to the end point. I don't know what the end point is, but I think that like even the good, bad, no matter what it is, some people are just born and have chemical imbalances, issues, and they don't get along well in society. And I think those people hold a place. Like just like you need rain to like appreciate the sun, just like you need all like how things work, like the yin yang of everything.
Yeah.
Positive, negative. I think that's just how the world works. And I think deep down, we all probably know what we're supposed to be doing. And if we don't, I feel like we'll even instinctually follow down that road. Some people can't handle it because of propaganda on outside, I think. But I think if we didn't have internet, we didn't have nothing like that, majority of people would figure out something to do. There's a lot of influence from outside that stops people from getting to where they need to go. But I think we all have like a path to go on. And the meaning of life, I don't know, meaning of my life, I think is just to, I think everyone, probably the way to reach it would be for everyone to be vocal about what they truly feel and believe, what they actually are going through, what the thoughts they really have. I think they have them for a reason. Vocalize them, and let's get to the bottom of it. Let's find a common ground. I think that's the key here.
Yeah, and like, do you think? I guess the follow up would be: do you think that people are unhappy being on the internet? Like,
yeah,
because I think there's a lot of people like parading their self as like being happy and like okay.
Yeah,
but I think it seems to me to be the very opposite.
Like, yeah, I think it feeds negativity. I think it, like, even if you could be the happiest person, you spend a month on the internet, go on Instagram, go on Twitter for a month, you'll be angry. You'll be sad. You'll be angry. You'll be feeling like hopeless almost. Some people black pilled. Not for me because I've been through a lot, but if I hadn't been through what I've been through, I probably would be seeing the glass half empty instead. But since I shouldn't even be here right now, everything's half full to me now. It's like it's a cheat code in life.
Yeah, and I guess like to sum it up, like for people who don't know, like why is that? Why do you feel you've got the cheat code?
Because all the way up until like 2018 that I was it 2018 and 2019 when you found me in your backyard? 18. All right, so up to like 2018, I was like in a mindset of nothing. Like I was basically mad at God, mad at the world. I was trying to force things in my whole life. I was trying to do things that I probably shouldn't have been doing, and I was spiraling out of control. Even though I knew what I should have been doing, it was easier to do negative things and like lean towards the worst part of life and poor me victimhood mindset. And then like I eventually ended up getting on drugs, which like turned into a whole just like new problems in my life that makes you forget about doesn't make you forget about like the things you were just complaining about in life when you weren't an addict, but it makes you, it's like there's bigger things when you become a real addict in your head. You're like, if I would take all my old problems back if I could just not be addicted to fentanyl, like Percocet, something that's like really addictive, and you get sick without it. At that point, anything is better than that. So I ended up like devolving into ODing in her backyard. She found me magically somehow because she shouldn't have, but she found me in her backyard, basically dead, called the ambulance. They Narcan me 3 times, brought me back to life. And like within that month, I was like, if I'm willing to die, this is like something I just come to the realization of like just this past year or two. If I'm willing to die doing the worst, like what doing better can't be worse than doing worse. Like I could keep going down this path and I'm gonna die, or I could, and this is like, I'm not happy right now, so I could at least try to value my life and try to do better and see where that leads me. And doing that has led me to where I'm at today. So it's like I was at the bottom, lifeless. Nothing could get worse than that. So anything that's happening, I can deal with, is how I think about it now.
So what about so drugs were relatively new to you? Like was it?
Nah. So for me to do them, yeah. But like in my life, my mother was, I literally just put this in the song that I was just recording, but I remember as old as I can remember, like as far back as I can remember, my mother telling me the story that she was getting high. She was smoking crack the night that her water broke for me to be delivered. Right. And I'll never forget that. And that just stays in my head. So my whole life, I've just only known my mother as a drug addict. Like she was an addict after that. She was like, after that, she ended up being addicted to opiates, and like just my whole life, I've just seen drugs. And my sister is addicted to opiates. And like everyone I knew, alcoholism, was drugs my whole life. But me, all the way up until I was like probably like 16, I was anti-drug completely, and then started smoking weed. Well, 15, I started smoking weed, but after that, I started doing like Adderall, and then went to jail, got out of jail, and then moved on to bigger things.
Well, what changed? I mean, if your
What changed?
mom,
Oh, so when
yeah,
I was,
what went from you
it was
being
a
like, oh,
trigger. Yeah.
yeah, what was that? What was that?
So, when I turned like 14 or 15, so my mother was an active crack addict until I was like 5 or 6. Probably after that too, but when I was like 5 or 6, she was hiding it, and then she kind of got clean, and then got a job, and like she was in prison before that. Like she got an apartment, and I was living with her instead of my aunt, and she basically within like a few months of getting clean, what started saying her stomach hurt, whatever. And no one knows if it was real because she never actually figured out what the issue was. It was the doctor thought she was pill seeking, and to this day, I still think that was the case. But she might have had some kind of issue. I don't know. But doctors couldn't find any issue. But she would put up such a fight. This was like before it really got crazy with opiates. She would put up such a fight that they would just like dispense her pills and pills and pills and pills and pills. And then they even put her on like this contract where they were like, we'll give you this much a month and you just whatever. It was weird, called a paying contract. And she was on drugs like that until I was like 15, 14, because at 14, her girlfriend, she was a lesbian my whole life. Her girlfriend cheated on her with some girl on the internet, and like they broke up.
See, the internet.
Some girl from a chat room. My mother never used computers. My mother's girl used computers all the time, and she met some girl in a chat room, drove to this girl's house. My mother found out. Well, actually, I found out because I was like good on a computer. I was like, I don't know where this bitch is at. Went through her emails, and I was like, oh, she's meeting up with some chick. And my mother was like, so kind of I brought on the whole thing, but I didn't because all I did was figure something out.
Yeah.
But it triggered them to split up. My mother like couldn't handle it and immediately relapsed and got right back on crack as soon as they broke up. And so from there, we were getting evicted and like all these type of my life just spiraled out of control. So it was like I basically had no type of anchor, no type of anything as a 14-year-old kid. So when I turned to weed, cigarettes, and started hanging with other people that just like random people that I met through friends, and they had Adderall, and like it like evolved into I didn't care about anything.
Yeah.
Before I cared about everything, and then I didn't care about anything because I had nothing.
Damn, dude. That's
yeah.
And like, you know, I think we've talked about this before. Maybe it was when we were in Vegas or something, but like I guess life just burns brighter now for you. I would imagine
everything. I'm happy every day I wake up, even when I don't get sleep, I don't care. I'm still getting up ready to get shit done because I just have so much hope in me. I just feel like tomorrow could be the day. Tomorrow could be the day that it's just progress. It's just all progress. And I've made so much progress in like 3 years that it's like it feels exponential because there was no progress for so long. And then I hit 30 years old and it was like life just went crazy.
Yo, dirty 30. That's what's up, y'all.
Legit. I started like being more comfortable. Like before that, even before I got on drugs, I was like in a crazy place from being when I was like 14. I just felt like traumatized for that whole time. I feel like is what it was. Cause as soon as I hit like 19 in my life, I met Mo and my life kind of slowed down and like I wasn't moving so crazily. All of a sudden I had like anxiety and depression and all these weird issues that I never had before just came out of nowhere and I had no control over it. And I was just feeling like I just felt like the worst that I could possibly feel. So for years, I just was like in my own head, messing myself up. And when I hit 30, after all that whole thing, like that's not an issue anymore these days. These days I have more mental control.
Someone in the chat said Flawed fans call it the Mo effect.
It is. That's what it is. If it wasn't for her and her family, it wouldn't be the case.
So they take you in? They take you in?
Somewhat, kind of. Yeah. When I needed them, yes. The whole time. Like my family wasn't really there. Like I couldn't hit up my father, couldn't hit up my mother. My mother passed away 2017, but even before that, couldn't really hit her up. But Mo's family, I would just like, after they found out what my life was, they were like, bro, you were never even a kid. You never got to be a kid. You never got to actually experience life. And they just like made sure that if I really needed them, they were there for me. And that's how we ended up getting off of fentanyl, is because I went to them and I was like, I don't know what to do. I'm stuck. I don't know. I'm trying to get off these drugs. And they were like, come live in our basement. And we just stayed in their basement for a year straight, got off drugs, got an apartment. And it was like, if it wasn't for that year, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah, dude, I can't say I know what any of that's like. My brother was he was on pills for a while, and he when everything finally stopped and he was like arrested for the last time, it was heroin.
Yep.
So, and which was, it got really big. Like, I'm from Connecticut, so like it's really big out
Yeah.
there. And you know, maybe it was just the East Coast in general just saw a huge
Yeah, New Hampshire was
influx,
crazy. New Hampshire, Vermont, like that's where we were at. New Hampshire, it was like
which is
everybody I know.
wild because
Yeah,
nobody thinks like
no one's there.
oh, little Connecticut,
Yeah,
like, or New Hampshire, you've got tree huggers up there and whatever, you know, like
crazy.
if anything, people are probably thinking, oh, you just smoke way too much weed, which is
Mhm.
probably, you know, it's just true.
Before it was an alcohol thing. When they had like the drugs of each state, they did like a whole test on them, and New Hampshire was an alcohol state, and then it was like it turned into Percocet, opiate, and then like fentanyl. It was Oxycontin for a second too, and then it
Yeah.
turned into fentanyl. Now it's just straight fentanyl. Everyone I know, fentanyl. Like it's not a surprise when I hear someone I know is on fentanyl anymore.
Yeah,
Or
so it was
died
wild.
from
Like, it was wild to watch my brother, because my brother had always dabbled in drugs. Like, him and I sort of like we took two separate paths when it came to dealing with our trauma. And I took everything and crushed it in my chest.
Yep.
And it took
Some people do that too. Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
and to this day, like, I battle with anger issues a lot of times because I never like let it out. My brother self-medicated his whole life with weed and drugs and you know, and I went through a period where I drank a lot, but you know, it was, but I can't say that I have any clue what it's like to be down that hole, because my brother tells me stories all the time. And you know, he was caught stealing stuff. Like, he was living out in
Yeah.
California, was stealing stuff from people he was working for, selling it just to get drug money.
Yep. People be stealing tools from Home Depot and going to sell it at the pawn shop.
Yep. Yeah.
And like that's like a normal thing. Every day you got to figure out how to make some money. And people are going to jail. Like, you just stole that $300 drill.
Yep.
Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. No, it's
a daily thing now. So it
yeah, and that was like hard to watch. But like, what was, you know, it didn't, like, even that stuff didn't matter to him. Like sitting in the courtroom, like listening to the judge list off all his charges and stuff. Even like the hard criminals were sitting in like the thing. Like, he was out, like, he wasn't with the busload of cons. Like, he was sitting in the whatever, the table.
Yep.
And even those guys were like, holy shit,
this nigga's
dude.
bugging.
Yeah, like,
crazy.
So it was hard to watch, because even after that was like the first time he had gotten like arrested and charged, and even then it didn't make a difference. You know, he had to sort of find this path. Now, he didn't reach the ODing part, but he went to jail again. And you know, I think at that
jail
point,
does it too. Sometimes
it takes,
that's the thing. That's why it's like a personal journey, because it's different things for different people. There's some people, I know this chick who OD'd like 13 times and had a child before she died. She ended up dying, but she OD'd. The ambulance was at her house weekly. It was across the street from her mother's house, and I would just see ambulance. They'd be bringing her out, Narcan. That happened over and over and over again. She never got better. She never wanted to do better, even though she had a kid and everything. It was some people could just go to jail and be like, jail twice, I'm done with this. I don't want to do this anymore. You know,
I don't know how people, like, kids to me are like the ultimate. Like, when I had my kids, my life changed. Like, it wasn't even about me anymore. It was about them. You know,
that's what it should be.
I can't even watch. I watched a show last night. It was like an interactive Black Mirror movie on Netflix, which is cool.
Yeah, I saw that one. Yeah, I saw it.
Like, right at the end, there's like a whole thing with a kid, and I'm not gonna give it away, but like, I was like getting choked up at the end, because I was like, I know what happens here.
Yeah,
and they don't show anything. It's just him on the screen, and then it kind of goes black, and I'm like, well, that sucks. And then you hear stories of moms or dads like doing drugs with the kids right there, ODing, the kids are right there.
Yeah. I used to do drugs with my mother as an adult, but we used to do drugs together. Wow. Me, my mother, my sister, my girlfriend, we used to all sit there and sniff Percocets. Perc 30s. Like, in my head, it was like I just wanted drugs at that time. But like, thinking about it now, it's like, damn, that's not normal. That's not a normal thing.
Right. Well, and I think too, there's a, and I'm sure you're at a point now where you understand, but in our teenage years, I'm a little bit older than you, but like, our teenage years were kind of filled with like the YOLO, like, you only live once.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
go balls to the wall. There was never like, it was all
Hey,
about
chill
taking the
out, relax, hang out.
yeah, no, like
Spend
we
some
know that
time.
now. It's like take a step back. But
Yep.
for so long, it was like, don't like remove the filter, just go all the way, like fuck the system.
Yep.
And then you realize like, and I think you've reached a point in your life where you're like, maybe there's a reason
Yeah.
for this, you know?
Absolutely. That's bro. There's nothing like being able to like just chill at my house and just like not have to deal with any of the things I used to be in my life. Like waking up. That's why, like you said, everything burns brighter. Everything is nicer for me because it's like I c- I now appreciate my chill time. I now appreciate being able to just like. That's why I'm sitting here. This is my job, like sitting here on camera and shit. But I'm still just chilling. I'm not. I don't have to do anything crazy. This is me just telling my story, and this is what I do every day now. I could. This. That's not work to me. This is relaxation compared to what I was doing when I used to wake up before. Now making
Yeah.
a thumbnail, like, okay, that's nothing.
Right,
That's
right.
that's like I appreciate my space and my sanctuary now, you know?
So what was the run me through like after? So you guys, I mean, you OD'd and Mo finds you.
Yeah.
How do you find your place online? Because you've been really big in, you know, I think it's like music reactions and stuff that kind of got you started. Like kind of
Yep.
walk me through how you sort of got to that point.
So I used to make music, right? I mean,
Mhm.
I still make music now, but for at the time when I started my YouTube channel, I wasn't making music at all. I had like retired in my head. But so I was watching a lot of YouTube when I was in that basement for a year, getting off drugs. I was watching a bunch of different YouTubers who were like doing all types of things. And I was like, I could do that. I think I could just sit there and talk about things. I didn't even know what I wanted to be, like a commentary channel. I was watching Sneeko a lot at the time before he turned into who he is now. At that point, like his content was so dope to me. And I
Yeah.
was like, it was about like just like things that are going on in the world, but he did it from like a different, just like asking random people in the street. I just liked the way his content was. So I
Yeah.
was like, I want to do like a channel like that, commentary on different things. But I was like really nervous to be on camera. So I set up like a studio in my apartment, which is in my closet, had all these things. And I was like, I'm just gonna start doing like random reactions to things. And so I didn't know how to set it up. So I didn't end up doing that. What ended up happening was I went on Twitch, started streaming, and figured as through that, I like figured out how to set everything up and all the program and hardware I needed. And then from there, I was like, I was watching a lot of Harris Heller, this YouTuber
Yeah,
who
I know
tells,
him. He
yeah.
actually lives in Utah.
Does he?
Yeah.
I think he lives in Japan now. I think he moved to Japan recently.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, pretty sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
he lives straight up in Japan now. But so I was watching his content and he was like, this is how you do everything you need to do. And one of his videos, it was like, you're not going to gain an audience streaming on Twitch. If you stream on Twitch, you have to make content on YouTube.
I remember
So
that.
you have to bring the audience to your stream. And I was like, okay, so I have to make content on YouTube. And then that's when I was like, I want to do the Sneeko type videos and all that. But then I was like, I'm nervous. So then I started doing reactions to get comfortable on camera.
Okay.
And within like 3 or 4 reactions, I just had people just being like, do this one, do this one. And like I was really back and forth with the audience, and it turned into like it just grew so quickly. It's crazy. It was in my first 2 months that I was like at like 10K. I was like,
Damn.
Yeah, it just flew up.
What were you
And that
what were the
what'd you say?
reactions to?
So what happened was I was like, I don't know. First, I reacted to like Corpse Husband song, an MGK song, and like a Dax song. But then I was like, what is happening right now that I should be reacting to? And I went to the trending page, the trending thing on YouTube, and Tom McDonald was like the 3rd person on there with his song Clown World. And I was like, I can't stand this dude. I'm about to do this reaction, make it funny because I'm just about to diss him the whole time. And so I was listening to it and I was like, this is also like after I start getting more into conservative stuff, like I was super BLM supporter and everything like that. But then I like the pandemic and all that shit changed my mind, George Floyd, all these things.
Yeah.
And so I'm listening to that and I'm like, bro, this is like facts. This is all facts. But in my head, I was like, I don't like this nigga though. There's something about him. It's really because of everything I heard about him. They said he was racist, all these things, and like I was still in my feelings. So I was like, he's speaking facts, but he's a lame. And so I ended the video like that. right? And then people were like, "What are you talking about? Like, you just said it was all good, and he's gonna end it like he's a lame." It like made people so mad that they're like, "Well, listen to this song," and I listened to another song, and he bodied it, and I was like, "He bodied it again, but he's a lame." And then I listened to another one, and then he commented on, I think he commented on the second one. He was like, "You need to do a reaction to this song, and I want to hear what your opinion is." And I was like, "This dude's commenting on my videos too." He like just won me over. What, like 3 videos? He was like won me over. And so I did a reaction to his battle that he did with Mac Lethal. And in my head, I was like, I'm gonna break it down, go back and forth, see who won. And that video is the most viewed video on my channel to this day. That video of me just deciding randomly to be like, y'all want me to react to Tommy Donald? Let me listen to this battle between him and Mac Lethal. And that video now, because I edited it, I like put all these extra things, try to make it funny. And like it's still right now the biggest video on my channel.
This is exactly why, and I even put it out there in a tweet, even though he would never see it. Like, this is why you and him need to do like a collaboration, whatever it is, because you went from hating the guy to, you know, he's a lame, and then now it's just like,
he changed my life.
Yeah, dude,
he literally changed my life. And like in the beginning, people used to be like, "Yo, you built your whole channel on Tommy Donald," and it's like I just reacted. Y'all built my channel. I can't be mad about that. Right. Y'all wanted to see my content. And then I would be like, we would talk all the time. He called me one day and I was like, "Bro, my life is totally different just from reacting to your music." And he was like, "Bro, don't say it's because of me, because it's because of you. You make the content. There's a bunch of reactors. Everyone doesn't do numbers. There's something about you." And that was like, he was like, "In a year, you'll have 100K subscribers." And I was like, "That sounds crazy." And I had 100K subscribers in a year. And then he shows up to every premiere that if I'm reacting to his video, he shows up to every premiere, shows love. Like, this dude is he's a real one.
Yeah, that's awesome. And he's right, you know, and you're right, because when someone says, "Oh, you built your whole channel around this," and I was like, "No, the people did."
Yeah, I can't make you watch.
Right. Yeah. Like, I sit here and I say, I like this, but at the end of the day, the people came, they clicked subscribe, and they came back. So
exactly,
you know, it is what it is. But like, no, that's awesome, because I think commentary channels are hard to build, because you have to I think there's an avenue you need to find, kind of squeeze yourself into. And I think the rap reactions,
it has to be with some type of topic. You got to, if you're going to talk about drama, you got to talk about drama. You got to talk about politics. You got to talk about politics, and you got to like figure out the right things to do. So anyone could do the lane, but you also got to think about the algorithm at the same time. You have to like use your intuition to try to guess at the same time, because a lot of things don't hit. Most things don't hit, but like I happen to get lucky and hit a bunch of the things that would hit at the right time, because it was just a blessing. That's why I know it's God, because like my life was, bro, I was like, when I started my YouTube channel, well, not when I started, but when I started posting on it, we were living in her parents' house in Texas, because we just moved down here because we're like, I'm tired of living in New Hampshire. So we came here, and we were living in the guest room, and I was like, I'm gonna start doing YouTube. Mo was like, I'm gonna get a job across the street at the grocery store. It was actually mad far. It wasn't at the grocery store yet. But she's like, I'm gonna get a job. And I was like, if my channel's not doing anything within a year, then right now, I'm telling you right now, tell me to quit, and I'm done. And then it was like a month, and it was just started growing. It was like, oh, okay. So yeah.
Guess you're in it now.
Yeah, now she don't work. It's crazy.
That's awesome. You let her stay home, just do her thing, huh?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Cause for years, I thought I was a rapper. I thought I was gonna make it rapping, not trying to do no YouTube, no nothing. Just like, oh, I'm just gonna post my music and it's somehow gonna do something, not even promote it. And for years, she was like, I believe in you. You're gonna do it. You're gonna do it. You're gonna do it. She worked a full job while I was at home making beats and making songs and thinking I was about to be the next Kanye West, and nothing ever came of it. I was like, okay. So she, for like years and years, was totally fine, totally supportive, did not have wasn't like, nigga, you need to get up and go do something. Never one time complained. So it's like, this girl deserves everything she wants.
A white woman talking down to a black man.
Yeah, it'd be racism anyway. You know what I mean? She could. I would have got it canceled regardless. So.
Oh man, that's awesome. It's been really cool to like, for the time that I've been following along and the time that we've talked, it's been really cool to see it all sort of happen. You and I share a similar like person that sort of changed our lives.
Like your wife?
What's that?
Like your wife? Oh, Gothics. Okay. I thought you were saying like Mo, like the Mo effect. Okay. You mean seeing Gothics content. Yeah, I absolutely.
Yeah.
I think I'm somewhere else. Yeah.
Well, no, yeah. So yeah, Gothix was someone that I used to watch on Twitch a long time ago, and then when she disappeared because of her comments about Little Mermaid, she was just like, she's like, I got to step away, can't do it, and I missed that part. And then once she came back and was kind of like waving her middle finger around at people,
Yeah.
I was like, okay, this is because at that point I was already sort of waking up and being like, I don't really agree with a lot of the stuff that's going on. I don't really like how people are just like all the DEI stuff it just seemed patronizing and it didn't
Yep.
seem real. And then no one was really looking at George Floyd in like a sensible way. And then the Rittenhouse stuff was like even
Yep.
worse.
Yep.
And there's no defense of Floyd, that stuff. Like I still think that what the officer did was wrong, but it still wasn't covered properly.
Yeah.
Like there's so much
It was
nuance
covered
that was,
biasly, complete
yeah,
bias. There was no type. They didn't want justice. They wanted what they wanted. They politicized it. Absolutely. Like,
yeah,
I don't want no one to die, but
yeah,
also, like, I'm not, from my standpoint, if I'm not there and I don't know a history between these people, I can't really jump to a judgment and be like, this was racism automatically. Like, how do everything is just racism? That's why in my head I was like, this doesn't even make sense. Like, where can the dude do something racist before you call him a racist? Because just killing someone is not racism
right.
in reality, not without a motive, a racist motive.
Well, did you find yourself in that headspace at one point? Like, did you find like you were just like looking at white people in a way that was just like,
Yeah,
man, fuck this guy?
that was my whole life. Bro, I used to sit there and talk to Mo, like, and be like not even acknowledging the fact that she's white, but in my head be like, yo, white people are inherently racist. America is inherently racist. I used to be on that same wave. I say that shit all the time. Like,
Even with Mo, when you're with Mo?
yeah, while I was with her, and she would be like, okay. Okay. she would be like, she wouldn't be like, you're wrong, but she would be like, all right, alrighty then. Yeah, the world's racist. But like in my head, I truly believed what I was saying. I was in such a victim mindset of everybody else is the issue. I'm a victim of that environment instead of like being the person I should be being and seeing what can happen from it. But that's the thing. That's like, it was that George Floyd situation. It was the people burning down the stores and burning down the whole city that made me be like, I don't actually believe anything I'm saying, because I would never be out there with these people. These people out here rioting, and I would never go out there with them. How am I going to defend their rioting and then not even be out there with them? That's the whole point of like a protest. Like, if I don't believe in it, then I'm not going to be out there. If I believe in it, I'll be out there. Clearly, I don't believe in it.
Right.
And then I just started thinking about it more and more and more. And then YouTube also put me down a rabbit hole of like Steven Crowder, Ben Shapiro, like these type of people. And I'm like, why does no one on the left have anyone who's talking as sensible as these people? Like, these people are using stats, these people are using history, like to make these points. And no one on the left does that. Everyone on the left is just like racism automatically. And it's like, I don't want to keep losing arguments on Facebook.
Right.
So I can't be on this side if we don't have actual legitimate points. And there was never any points. It was just always emotional,
Well,
which
that's
made me like, I can't be on that side.
and what's funny is I was going to ask you too, because I've been playing provocateur on Facebook as of late, and it's funny because so many people who are like my white friends are like what did I post the other day? Oh, it was something. It was a tweet that someone posted. Someone retweeted something saying like it was a black woman was saying how like what rights are afforded to you that aren't afforded to me. So I clipped that and threw it up on Facebook. I swear to God, 3 of my white friends were all like, "Well, there's a disparity in the
Every
crime
time.
rate where the stop and frisk where like 70% of black people were being." I'm like,
But
and
then they
all I
found
wanted
things on them. That's weird. It's
right,
weird.
and
People
I
were going to jail for getting things found on them. Like,
yeah, and I wanted to
you're
say
gonna patrol where crime is at.
yeah, and like I was like, A, is there crime where they're being patrolled? Is there a crime being committed? Because like I don't and this again, this has nothing to do with racism. It's has everything to do with like there's a culture happening and there's police in this area where the culture has started to rot
Yeah,
from the core.
absolutely.
And now so yeah, there's a smaller portion of the population that are committing a large percentage of the crime, but why is that? Like,
Yeah.
why can't we have that conversation without it being,
Yep.
well, it's because you're racist? Like,
I literally just thought about that this morning. It was in my, I don't know what I saw, but I saw something. I was like, I was thinking about people. Someone was talking about the crime statistics of black and white, and they were like, black people commit all these crimes in these neighborhoods, whatever. And it's like, if there was more white people in these neighborhoods and going through that, would they be committing as much crime? Would they be involved in the crime? Because I'm sure that there's a bunch of white people in all those groups, but we only focus on the black. So it's like clearly an issue, but like making it a race thing when it's really more like a class thing is gonna automatically veer us off the path and just gonna perpetuate it, because the issue is really the culture in the area, because people are just, they'll do anything for anything, and if that's all you see happening, then that's what you have to be to get ahead in that. It's like it's a melting pot of destruction and crime.
Yeah, and I even shared something too on Facebook where I said I heard someone in a coffee shop, like this woman said out loud. I was there, and I think there's a couple other people there, but she's talking to a lady behind the thing. She's like, "Yeah, we just need less white men, old white men in Congress."
I saw someone say that on something else. People have been saying that a lot recently.
And
we need less white men.
Yeah, and I said I posted it on Facebook. I was like, "This is kind of bullshit." And then of course, a couple of white friends were like, "They're totally right. They need a better representation." And I just thought, I said, this is what I said to her. I said, we need competent politicians, and we don't have that right now. I said, it doesn't matter what they look like, but they should just be representative of their base. So if they are Hispanic, are black, or are white, it doesn't matter. If they're properly representing who their constituents are, great. But their skin color tells me nothing about them.
Yeah.
And I don't know how you feel about like requiring some sort of representation, but like, I don't know. Like, what is your thoughts on something?
So I don't care about representation in anything. Like, I really just care if things are done right. That's it. I don't care what you look like. Just do what you're supposed to do. Not support, but do what you're elected to do. If you're elected by a certain group of people who believe in your policy, you're elected to do that. Just keep your word. That's all. I don't care what color you are. I'm from New Hampshire, where it's all white people, pretty much. So it doesn't, race doesn't really bother me. That's why I was saying I didn't really believe things I was saying, because I would walk around saying white people are inherently racist with all white friends, only know white people, and like most people that were doing me dirty didn't look white. They weren't white.
Right.
So it's like I was holding this bias just because I was told to.
Yeah, I found that too, because I was like sort of on the opposite side of it, where I was just saying shit like people were like, "Oh, like white people, like they had their time, now it's time for this," and I'm like,
"That's wild."
Yeah, and I'm like, and then as I woke up, I was like, "Why the fuck was I saying that?"
Like, yeah, it you really believed it though. When you hear it, when you were saying it, you were like, "Yeah, that's what makes sense," but like, it doesn't at all, because why? I just know that if you're white, how could you feel like that? That's like having white people hate themselves, having white people like that, to me is wild, because that's the same thing that like black people claim is happening to them. So it just doesn't make any sense. Black people just hate themselves because everything is Eurocentric and all this, and it's like you want white people to hate themselves. That's definitely going to balance it out. That just won't make more anger and like division between everything. And eventually you're going to be like, why should I feel bad? I didn't do anything you're saying I should feel bad for. And then it's just going to turn into resentment, and it turns into this whole entire situation. No one wants to have these conversations.
Yeah. And I think that's where I was at, was I just didn't, well, part of me was afraid, because people that were, so I was living in Hawaii for a long time. So I'm the minority there. So if they're all saying, "Oh, white people are shitty people," then I just have to sort of say it.
You're a racist automatically. Right. Everyone's going to turn against you.
And then if I say otherwise, then the white boy here wants to, he doesn't think he.
Yep.
And it's like, well, I've never treated you badly. I mean, do I maybe there are racist white people. There totally are.
But that's such a rare occurrence. I know there's racist white people. I've had white people say crazy things to me, but I don't believe it's racist until you act on that. Like, you can say anything you want to hurt my feelings. If you want to make me mad, and nigga will make me mad, then you're gonna say that. Like, just like I'll say, when I argue with Mo, I say some crazy shit sometimes, and I'm like, I don't even mean that, but that's just what comes to my mind, because I know it's gonna cut. You know what I mean? So like, if you burn a cross on my lawn, okay, then maybe there's gonna be an issue. But you could say whatever you want. I don't think I don't think most people are racist. I think we have like racial biases, but I don't think people actually hate other races.
I agree 100%. You ever see that South Park? I think it was called, was it the Robinsons episode?
I haven't watched much South Park.
Oh my God.
Since I was young.
So it had to do with like there was some like KKK stuff, and like, and I forget, it was like Will Smith or something moves into like South Park or something like that, and they like burn a cross on his front lawn, but he comes out and he goes
It's a T.
time to leave. So it was one of those things where like, you know, they obviously can't not say, but
Yeah.
it was, yeah,
That's hilarious. I should watch more South Park. I like a lot of people tell me about it, and I haven't seen it in so long.
so based, man. They're so good at what they do because they just leave they leave no man behind.
Yeah.
Everything is fair
They're
game.
going
They
after
make fun of
everyone.
everyone.
That's what it should be. It's like Dave Chappelle. That's what it always should be.
Yeah.
That's what I grew up on.
Yep.
That type of energy.
Yeah, it's that's the other thing I think I found is really bogus about today is how much people have lost the narrative on comedy. And like you can't even like Chrissy Mayer, for example, is getting all that shit from those chicks at her show, and it's like try and have a laugh, you know, like just loosen
laugh
up
at yourself.
right?
And you're not even laughing at you're mad about a whole different group that you're not even a part of. Like she didn't even make the fat joke until you said something. She was talking about Dylan Mulvaney, like totally different situation. People just want a white knight for everything.
Well, and I think it's like people believe that if they're caught out in public, well, this is how they run their lives, right? They see something and then they start telling on people, you know, so they think that if they laugh at a trans joke, that all of a sudden like, someone's going to report them and the thought police is going to come arrest them because that's how they live their life.
That's a great point. I never even thought of that. It's all about optics in reality. I don't want to look like the bad guy, so I have to be proactively the good guy, what I think is the good guy.
Right. That's exactly what it is. And that's like one of the reasons like now I just don't care. Like I'll say whatever I need to say. There's nothing that I'm going to say that's actively going to hurt somebody. It might hurt their feelings.
Yeah.
But like, do you know how many times people have hurt my feelings in the past?
They don't care. These same people that say that your rhetoric is dangerous don't care about you. They don't care about how you feel. Oh, you say this, you're making these people feel like this. Well, I'm going to make you feel like this without even thinking about how you feel. We don't care about if you're not on our side, how you feel doesn't matter. That's why I say everything I say, because I'm just not gonna, if no one else is gonna walk on eggshells about my feelings, I'm not gonna walk on eggshells about anyone else's feelings. And we all need to get out of our damn feelings. Like that's the biggest part. The emotions is what's running this country right now. Too much feminine energy, man.
I think it's okay to be in your feelings when it comes to like your family and friends.
Yeah, family
like,
automatically. Yeah.
Right.
People that are close to you, but like on the internet, nah.
Right. And you know, if I'd come up or you know, Adam would come up to you like in person, like poked you in the chest and you know, and insulted you, like then you start having problems because you trust that person.
Yep.
That you know, you guys are close.
Someone close to you.
Yeah. Some asshole on the internet, like some faceless idiot.
Why does it matter?
I'm not worried about what people on the internet think of me. Of course, I think I care about the people closest to me because like those are the people I live with every single day.
Yep.
Like I want them to realize I'm a good person.
It's like that's the absolute fact. I'm just gonna expand on that. That's like on the internet. Like I always think about this when I'm responding to people because I get into arguments for like hours with people and I'll go back and forth and go back and forth and back and forth. But like more now, sometimes I avoid it because in my head I'm like, if I never saw this message, would it change my life? Like if whatever this message I disagree with, if I didn't see that, would anything change? Would anything happen in my life? Because most likely it would not. It would just be a message from some random person. They wouldn't get a response. They would feel stupid afterwards. Like it's like, so it's pride when I respond because it's like, I just want to dunk on this person. But really the dunking would come from ignoring this person. And it's hard to ignore it. So I get why people do it. But I just think that we all need to stop. It's something.
So what you said, like not responding is the ultimate dunk on them because that they get life.
They wanted a response.
Right. They wanted that response. And that's where like, well, a lot of times I just have my notifications turned off unless I'm following or we're like mutuals because I don't really care what people say. Sometimes I'll look at threads or whatever, but 9 times out of 10, I'm not responding to them because I know it's just what they want. Facebook sometimes is like, I have a plan, like the sort of monetize your haters plan with Facebook stuff, because watching how people white knight for others on that platform, because it's a progressive platform, like through and through.
Totally.
Like, so like, I do want to sort of like talk about a few interactions I've had with people and how like unhinged they become, and
Yeah.
also and how it relates to having a real conversation. Because I've
That's the
invited,
biggest thing.
yeah,
That if someone says something crazy, like then I have to retweet it or like I won't even retweet it. What I'll do is I'll screenshot it because I'm not giving them that retweet. I'll get all the likes. They're not going to get even a response because it would be too much work to go find them. So
yeah,
I'll screenshot it, retweet it, and be like, "This is the type of things that people talk about. Like this is what people say to you when they disagree with you. Like someone just told me to end myself the other day. I'm like, I don't even know you, and I wasn't even talking to you in the first place. I
yeah.
had to share it. I'm like, damn, this is just how people are walking around, just like off rip, just clip, pulling out automatically.
Yeah, and those are the people who like claim that they're
Tolerant. Those are the nice
very
ones.
yeah.
Those are the best people in the world.
And again, we've talked about this before. It's in a world where people label me as conservative, like I feel like the liberal one who's like,
Yeah.
I'll hear your ideas, like I want to hear what you have to say that's different from me, because honestly, I've learned so much from entertaining people who are like more left leaning than me and like even far left, like listening to their conversations. Like I listen to Destiny's content, and
Me
I
too.
know, and I don't always.
I
agree
hate
with them.
watching, but I still watch them.
Right.
Because I want to know what the arguments are that from people who are winning the arguments on that side. I want to know, what are you even winning the argument with?
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I don't like the echo chamber idea.
No, and that's the thing is, and I know that I'm still stuck in it for myself, to an extent, but exposing myself to like how the argument is being formed on the other side. And like, again, he is someone who I think, unlike a lot of the commentators, he actually is like well read on it, and he has his convictions.
Too. Yeah.
So
I just think he sucks. His opinions suck, but he definitely is well read. I understand where he's coming from, but I just don't agree.
Right.
No,
it's so difficult to do, and I don't blame people for not wanting to take on an argument from the other side. It's not an easy thing to approach because it exposes you. It's like someone pulling your pants down in the middle. Like, oh my God, I can't do anything about it. I don't know where I am. I don't know how to combat this idea. And so normal people,
that's exactly why I watch.
Yeah. And then that's where I'm at. And there are times where I have trouble. And actually there's one of my people in chat, Affluent, he sent me several videos that I've looked at and I've been like, I need to like take this in pieces because it's like, it's making me uncomfortable. Mad. It's making me mad, but like, I'll get through it and I'm like, okay, I see where he's coming from. Like, I get it. Like, and if that's how if that's how he lives his life, that's fine. It doesn't affect me. Right. We're both talking about how we think we should live lives.
I think that the listening to it, and like I sit here and I'll listen to it and then I'll talk about it with Mo. Like if I'm watching something like that, I will sit there and have the conversation because I like thought-provoking content. That's it. Like, so even if it's totally wrong, it'll help me formulate my opinion better because maybe I don't know everything. I don't know what I don't know. I don't know what I do know, but I know that hearing someone else's where like, cause they're a totally different person, been through a whole different walk of life, they may say something that triggers something in my head. And that's how I've gotten to where I'm at this far by being contrarian and having someone prove me wrong. A lot of times that's how I've gotten my understanding, not by knowing things, but by not knowing things.
Yeah, no, that's the thing, right? Like, and if you approach life as like, so my approach is I can't ever fill my cup, right? Like I'm always trying to fill my cup with knowledge, but that cup can't ever be filled.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's how I approach things, and in hopes to like, okay, I need to learn something, even if it's difficult for me to admit that someone might be right. Like, and that's one thing, like my wife and I, like, well, the hardest thing to do is admit the other person when you're in a disagreement.
That's right. One person I'll never admit is right. Destiny's even right sometimes. Mo, never. Not once. Never.
Mo's the best. Mo, we love you. We love you, Mo.
He loves you, Mo.
Jason Momoa loves you. Who's your celebrity doppelganger? I don't know. Who do people say?
I hear a lot of things. So I used to hear Kid Cudi, and then I gained weight, and then I've heard so many other people. Like I heard people have said Red Fox, which pisses me off a bunch of times because I don't have red hair and I'm not light skinned. Other than that, I don't know. But if you mean like personality wise, I'd say Kanye without all the anti-Semitism.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah,
Kanye is wild, man. What do you think of
that's
him
why
his last couple of years? Like what?
I love it. I love Kanye. That's the type of thing. Like I love him so much that when he says things I disagree with, it forces me to like have to hold my ground against someone that I absolutely like look at as a not an idol, but like one of my biggest influences. So it's like it just makes me more confident in being myself because it's like this dude says what he feels. Even if he knows everyone's not going to agree with it, that's the energy everyone should have. If you
Do you
really
think
feel
he
like that.
do you think he like lost it a little bit?
No,
Like
I don't
maybe
think
just
he
a little
lost
bit?
anything. I don't think he
No?
lost anything. No, I think since the beginning, Kanye has been doing this ever since My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. You could say maybe it's because his mom died, but I just think that he is just more. He knows how to exploit the media, and he has since for years. And so then before him, it was Jay-Z. Then he linked with Jay-Z, and then all of a sudden now it's Kanye as well. I just think these people just know how to exploit the audience. I think that's been the case the whole time.
Yeah, I do think he has an art for getting headlines. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Um,
But then he has an art
just
for disappearing and making people not care about those headlines. Even like when he put on that MAGA hat, all he has to do is drop a good album. He can do whatever he wants. He drops a good album, he's right back every single
some
time.
really shitty shoes. I think
Nigga,
those
I got
shoes,
some on right now. You crazy? I'm wearing Yeezys right now.
I think those are the ugliest shoes ever made. And no
Damn, man.
judgment to anyone who wants
I
to
love
wear
them.
them.
They're comfortable too.
I've heard they're super
They're
comfortable.
very comfortable.
Yeah, I've heard they are. Yeah. No, I don't know, man. Kanye was one of those people that I just thought that in his last little bout that he had, I was like, man, maybe he went like a little too far.
I think he's just impulsive. Like if you think about the situation, his issue, he made it seem like it was against Jewish people, but his issue was with specific Jews, and people kept saying that, saying, "Stop saying it's all of them. It's just these certain people who just happen to be Jewish." And he knew that,
Yeah.
but he just wanted to show that he didn't care and that he was willing to lose a bunch of things over his conviction. And that's something that I could get behind because you could say he's crazy, but you don't become a billionaire by being crazy. A millionaire, maybe. A billionaire, no, that doesn't happen.
So maybe he's suffering from the same thing that like Trump like suffers from. Is like he just doesn't.
He's completely in his head.
Right. Like he's
a bull in a china shop.
Okay. I could see that side of it. Not to say it's necessarily right or how I would live my life, but
yeah, no, I don't live like that. I'm much more reserved than that. But I just know that every time someone says something, like they've been calling Kanye crazy for years before he was a billionaire, before he was even this successful. And every time he comes through with something even more like maybe not progressive, not the word for it, but I'll say progressive in like an artistic sense. Yeah. And he achieves all these things after people. Remember when he went on Breakfast Club and was like, they don't want to let me create clothes and da-da-da. And he went on Sway, and Sway was like, well, just make your own. And he was like, you don't know what you're talking about. How Sway did all this. Charlemagne like tried to make him look crazy on the Breakfast Club. After that, exactly what he said was exactly what happened. He got the big shoe deal. He got away from Nike, got a giant shoe deal with Adidas, started dropping clothes with all these I forget the company. I think it was the person who works for Ralph Lauren and Izod, or I forget the chick's name, but he started making all these, basically exactly what he made a big enough fuss in the media because he knows how to use the media and turns it into now people are watching what I'm going to move, whatever I do next, you can either be a part of it or not. And it happens over and over and over. This dude knows how to build up to a product every single time.
Yeah.
That doesn't make him not crazy. It does. It does make him not crazy. What's crazy to you? Like, you're the broke one. What do you mean? He has billions. How is he the crazy one? You're the one who's trying to make money right now, probably working a 9 to 5. Is he really crazy? You can say whatever you want. I mean, that's like, people are so relative in the way that they think. This dude is, you can't even imagine someone who's been in the music industry, been in the fashion industry, been in all these different types of giant industries and met all the top people in them. Somehow he got there. Crazy? Doubt it.
I can't. I do. There is something special about people, and like special as in like I don't know if it's good or bad. But like,
I mean, like let's take good and bad out of it.
People like Kanye is like, how do they do it? Right? Like, because I can barely keep my shit in order.
He's high functioning.
Well, I mean that it has to be, again, like, and I'm not putting Kanye in the same like category as Elon, but like people like that who are able to multitask and put like, and even if it is putting the right people around them, a lot of people can't judge character in that way.
People don't have that ability. That's
Right.
the thing. People don't have the ability to have the right people around you to be successful. Like, and he's done it repeatedly. It's
Yeah, dude.
something that I think he may even be like slightly autistic. Like I wouldn't put it past him because his issue is mostly socially. Like he doesn't take social cues well. And that's something that I realized in all of his interviews. He's very bad at being social with people, but then when he gets into a creative bag, it's better than anything else every time.
Yeah. I was saying that about him with his interviews and stuff. I was like, this is a guy who's like as talented as he is and as good of a show as he can put on. Like the one-on-one, like his ability to like communicate effectively one-on-one is
Lacking.
Again, it's up there with Trump. It's not that good. Like,
yeah, it's very
they know
lacking.
that they're great and they don't make anyone like they're not shy about it.
Yeah.
But they have trouble like articulating an idea from like point A to point Z, you know?
Yeah.
And that's, again, that maybe that's part of the madness is that like there's something that you're just not good at. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like there's
absolutely.
always an aspect you're lacking in.
Absolutely.
And even like, again, even like Elon Musk is like, he has trouble interviewing one-on-one with people. Like, can he build a rocket? Can he build a electric car? Yeah, but dude is awkward as the day is long. Like,
I mean, you could say that's crazy, right? You could say some kind of it's something mental, which means he doesn't fit into the normal box, but I don't think that's crazy. But I think it's crazy to call people crazy when you don't know them. I think it's crazy when the media says someone's crazy. I would say just they're not. If everyone in the media says he's losing his mind, I would say disagree every time because the media is clearly has a bias against. They call everyone crazy that they are trying to discredit. So if the media in a whole is saying this person's crazy, it's the exact opposite. Everyone else is crazy for believing the media, for going along with that. The only reason we believe it's crazy is because they said he's crazy. They said he went crazy when his mother died. That's what they said. And now everyone's been saying he's crazy since then, but he's still high functioning, still making all this money, still progressing, he still can build an audience at the drop of a dime, just like a Trump can. And it's like, you can say all these things. They've been saying Trump's a criminal, all these things. If they say it, it's false. That's how it goes. That's how I believe it. I'm going to be contrarian on that situation because that's how they get rid of the problems, like the glitches in the matrix. If Andrew Tate, let's throw him in jail. Like if you can build an audience and people are listening to you, you're out of here.
Yeah,
you're crazy. You're this. You're that. And Kanye, he's been called crazy for like a decade now.
Yeah, it's certainly something that I've come to realize if the news, left or right, is saying something about a particular person, like they're crazy or this person shouldn't be listened to. It's like I'm going to be very skeptical at this point because a lot of them are just crooks and just idiots themselves
on both sides.
It's like, you know, I'm done listening to them for like telling me who's crazy and who's not. Like I'll make a decision on my own.
That's it. And I haven't met him to know that he's. I would have to sit with him and not like Mo's crazy, and I only know that because we've been together for 14 years. Like when I met her, I was like, this girl is normal. She's super normal. It took me years to realize how crazy she is. So when people jump on the crazy boat, that's like the same thing as when they say you're schizophrenic just because you're having a conversation. Like you can sit there, talk to yourself. They're like, you're schizophrenic. They could say it technically because you're talking to yourself.
Yeah.
But like maybe there's just something that you don't get. You know, I just don't like to jump on those bandwagons. It's like Kanye, I don't agree with some of the things he says, but as an artist, he's just. I know what it takes to make music, and I could never do what he does. I know what it takes to just be creative, and I could never. Maybe he's just really good at it, but he's like more than good at it because there's plenty of people in his lane who should be. They have the opportunity, and they just cannot. They can't do what Kanye does. They can't. But
don't sell yourself short.
I mean, he was already done. He'd been around for a while, and he was high functioning since College Dropout. His first album was crazy, off a rip. The beat making album.
Well, so you just made one recently that you just made a song recently that.
I mean, I can rap better than Kanye. I'll say that. Yeah. Oh, but like musically, I'm not there. He as a total package musically, like he's a great producer. He's a great engineer. He's great at getting people who can do if he needs someone who can play violin, he'll get someone who plays violin. Like and then the melodies that he'll come up with, and just the compositions he comes up with are crazy. And he could just be the executive producer making it all happen, but actually not. He doesn't even need the talent, but that is the job. You know, that's a job.
Okay. Where's your music coming from? Like when you sit down and write a song and put it out, where does it spawn from now?
So before it was just me trying to like, I don't know, I just liked rapping before, but now it's like legitimately an outlet for me. Like for years, it was me being like, I just enjoy doing this, so I'll do it every day. I'm good at it, so I'll do it every day, get better, learn things. But now it's more about me saying what I want to say, like saying what I need to say in the best way that I could do it. I'm bad at talking. I'm good at rapping. That's how and the thing is, like, I don't write. So it's like I write it in my head, but like it's easier for me to sit there and be like, this is what's happening in my life, this is what I need to address, and just weave it together in my head. And then it's like it's just a more natural way. I'm just speaking my mind, and it's a beautiful thing, because I thought I wasn't rapping anymore like a couple years ago.
So you won't write a song down, you'll just kind of like work it in your head and then sit and like record and then like, oh, okay, and then run it back and then record again.
Yep. That's literally what I do. I sit here, I play the beat, and I'll come up with like 2 bars in my head. Like, okay, what am I trying to rhyme here? Come on, and then I'll have it like pieced together. But the way I find confidence to write the next line is to rap the first line. So I sit here, rap the first line, and then like, and then I can just like piece things together. But the easiest way is for me it has to come out of my mouth rather than writing it down. I'm not confident in writing. I can write well though, but I'm not confident in writing. Even when I write, it's like it's average until I rap it. And I'm like, damn, I'm one of the best rappers in the world. What was I doing? Like, why did I think that was just okay when I was writing it?
That's how I will actually write, because I've been writing a new story. I'm on chapter 5.
Yeah,
and so I'm like going to be writing it in multiple like short like novellas.
Yeah,
and but yeah, a lot of people, they plan their stuff out, and I can't do it. I usually just sit there and I'm like, however it kind of comes out, it's just, that's how it is. And a lot of stuff doesn't make sense all the way through, but
my shit don't.
Yeah.
I remember, Samson, he's been going like viral on Twitter recently. He has a mullet. No. You probably, if I showed you him, you probably do. He's everywhere. Everyone knows him. He made the song about Nancy Pelosi. You didn't see that? It went viral. Wow. Yeah. Okay. So his name's Samson, and he's like one of the best rappers in the world, right? And I was making music, and I put like the Stars Align hook on Instagram, and he was like, he called me and was like, yo, it's amazing. You need to finish that song. What are you doing not rapping? You need to keep going. Da, 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 da. And I was like, from him, it was like really inspiring, because this dude, like as a rapper, he's nasty.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know many people who make music that I could just be like, hey, tell me how this sounds. So I sent him like a verse that was on there that I made, and he was like, nah, get rid of that verse. He was like, you need to be rapping about your life. You need to be rapping about what you've been through. Like, you're just like flexing. I need to hear your your story. Right. And so I went back and rewrote that verse. And ever since then, it like triggered something in my head where now it's just like, it's just happening nonstop, just because I kind of challenged myself, So now it's like, I realize I work under pressure better than anything else. So if I'm trying to like prove something, which is every time now, it's the best thing I ever wrote every single time. I believe in myself now. I don't know. It's a weird thing. But the way it started was him saying, you need to be rapping about your life and whatever. But then like the way I rap, I can't write in like a story. I can't write a story. So like you doing like novellas, like shorts, that's what I do. Like every 4 bars is like a topic. It's like a chapter of a song. It should be a chapter of a book. So 4 bars about something, 4 bars about something, and they might not go together, but in my head it makes sense. Yeah. So that's how I write.
I don't know what it is about why I like it. Like, see, I don't do poetry. I can't write like music or anything, because it doesn't. I need words. I need to describe this glass of water to you.
You could do that. You could rap that. Eminem does that.
Yeah,
that's how Eminem writes. Eminem will describe that in detail. I think you could pull it off.
I don't know, and I love music. So rap has never been something that I've like really focused on in my life. Like some of the old school stuff I enjoy. Like the more modern mumble shit is like I think most people like our generation's like what
Yeah.
what the fuck, man.
Most of it's ass. Yeah.
Right.
Most music, like the big stuff right now is trash. Most of it.
So yeah, like but I love listening to your stuff because like it's soulful. Like I
Yeah.
know that it came from like a place of like maybe pain, but also happiness. Like
Yeah.
some of your stuff is like
I try to make it a common thread through everything, like ambition and ultimately fighting to win. That's like it's like motivation. I try to use everything and come back to that, because I could be like, oh, life is sad, life is hard, but like it makes more sense. Even if I was sad, it would make more sense for me to be like, it's sad, but I know tomorrow I might have a chance to be happy. So I'm not gonna give up on just, you know what I'm saying, trying just because I'm sad right now. Like no matter what, I'm gonna always see the brighter, the light at the end of the tunnel, just because I know life goes up and down, up and down. No matter how low you get, you can still go back up. And that's just why I always think like that. And I try to make that's the thing about my music now, because before it used to be dark. I used to make dark music.
Yeah.
And now it's like everything has that common thread through it. And I just love listening to it myself, because there's not enough music like that out.
Yeah. No, it's something too. You said something that I've said to my wife. You know, she battles in depression sometimes, and
It's rough.
even myself. You know, it's like tomorrow is always a chance for something good to happen, or
Yeah.
for the light to be brighter, for you to make a better choice. Like we don't have to sit and I know part of depression is like things you can't control, but there's places you can put yourself that do help. Like not
Absolutely.
sitting in the corner, sitting by the window, like all
Absolutely.
those things
They make a
change.
difference. You got to try. You got to find the thing, because there is something that will break it, that will shake it. And sometimes it's like when you're depressed, you don't even want to look for that thing. Like that's what comes out of it. So you gotta trick your brain, and just like you gotta continue to push. And then at some point, maybe you won't get better, maybe you won't feel better, but there's a chance that you will. You definitely won't if you're just sitting there.
Right.
If you're just waiting for it to go, you're gonna dwell, and you're gonna sit there and just be in your thoughts and think about it nonstop. If you're actively trying to fix it, something is gonna happen. You know what I mean? Like you can be sad and moving, or you can be sad and stuck.
Do you think that's part of the work of like being happy, is like the day-to-day, like again, let's to use the sitting by the window analogy. Like you could just say to yourself, things won't get better, it's going to be hard, and just sit in the dark corner. Or you can fail every day at not feeling better by the window, but like it's just all part of that journey. It's like rather than sitting in the darkness, like I'm going to sit in the light, and eventually I'll see how beautiful it is out there, and I'll go outside or whatever it is.
That's my life. That's literally that's a great analogy, because that's going back to what we were saying before. After I OD'd, that's what it became. It was like I could either continue down this path, OD again, you know what I'm saying, just keep getting worse, or stay as low as I am right now, or I could actively try to do better, like not let myself, no matter how sad I get, no matter how empty I feel, not let myself succumb to that, and continue to try to push forward. Whatever I think I should do, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it holistically. And that has been the thing that has changed my life the most, because none of this was supposed to happen, but because I put myself in a position for the opportunity to happen, like I actively put work in, whether it was small work, whether it was just like being like, I don't want to be on drugs anymore. Just that decision. Her parents didn't have to let us stay, but they were like, okay, yeah, come stay in the basement. We ended up, after that, getting an apartment, even though we shouldn't have. We got a car, we got all our things together, and like none of that was expected when I made the decision to have a better life. It was like anything is up from here. Anything I'm actively doing that's positive is better than this. And that led to a bunch of different opportunities happening. And it's like, it feels like luck, but I don't know. It's crazy. Because it wouldn't have happened. It still happens to this day.
Why shouldn't you have gotten a car? Why did you say that?
Because I don't have good credit.
Oh, you're saying
it should have been impossible. But her parents were like, we'll co-sign on it and see if y'all can get a car. And we got one, luckily, somehow. And then from there, we were able to, now she could get a job over here. I could fucking make it to where I need to go. and we could like make everything happen the way we needed to. Got an apartment off of that. Like it just built up slowly, step by step. And the things that I was taking for granted before, because we already had a car, we already had everything we needed. Those things we had to build back up and get them and appreciate them when there was a chance that it wasn't going to happen. So then it was like when you get it, you appreciate it even more after that. After you lose everything, getting it back one by one is like each thing is a win. Each good decision, each good outcome is a win. Whether it's just getting a call back from an apartment, you know what I'm saying? Like just having that call back was like more important than getting the apartment. Then getting the apartment was like it just compound.
Small victories, right? Like
Yeah,
there's the
exactly.
yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
Well, and I think people lose sight of those, like that the reality of what success is. I mean, it's different for everyone, but the milestones, if you map things out in a smaller, more achievable way, the journey becomes much more tolerable, because rather than waiting for like, oh, I'm waiting for that $10,000 YouTube payout. It's like, well, you'll be waiting a while. Like maybe set your goals
a little bit
backward.
smaller than that. Yep.
Yeah.
Just get some subscribers. Like mine was just 1,000 subscribers, then it was like 5,000, then it was like, then it just all ended up working out is how, like, because I know for me it was faster than a lot of people. There's people that were before me that had less subscribers, that had more subscribers, and then I passed them, and like you feel like guilty, you feel like you don't deserve it because you see other people working just as hard. But it's like hopefully it like if we were all just stuck, it would be like, damn, is this actually, can this really happen for people? So seeing me, then maybe it'll make this person, and like so many people have told me that seeing it happen for someone like me just inspires them, because it shouldn't be a thing. There's so many people who have been putting in the work, but I was like in a position where for years I knew how to edit videos, I knew how to make music, I knew about music. So it was like a perfect storm of too many things that I thought were worthless in my life that ended up making me successful, like relatively.
Well, I think when I see people like yourself and like Adam and and Call and like all you guys who Gary, all you guys on Base Staff, like you guys,
Gary too, Neurotic.
Yep.
Like that story right there is the most inspirational one to me, because that dude, he was in prison, he was on drugs. This dude has like one of the biggest channels. And
what gives me hope is like you guys have all given me a chance on some level, right? Whether you were like you hung out,
we all got chances.
And that's what I mean is like everyone who is, most of the people I've come across with who have made it big and who I know are real ones are people who are giving chances to other people. It's up to them, right? Like you come on my channel, like that doesn't mean I'm an overnight success. Gary comes on my channel, doesn't mean I'm an overnight success.
But if we all here, then hopefully it'll do something, because that means you're a real one. That's what that means, because people don't like giving opportunities. I don't just get on anybody's channel. I mean, I have, but I wanted to get on your channel. As soon as I met you in real life, I was like, yeah, I messaged this dude. Like, you're one of my favorite people now. Just because I know what kind of person you are from seeing you in reality. It changed my whole mindset. You know what I mean? Because before you were just a person on the screen to me.
Right. Well, that's really important too. And I think why it's a good, I've heard people talk about this community and how, people are, they are a certain way on screen and then off screen. What I've realized is, yes, there are people who have a persona and who are different in real life.
Yeah.
What I have come to notice is that a lot of times the persona that's on the screen is actually worse than the one that's in real life.
Yeah.
The person I meet in real life is actually nice.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And so like, and that becomes their shtick, and people hate them for it. But like, hey, it's obviously people like it. They like
it works.
So, I mean, thank you for saying that. It was very nice of you to say about myself. Like, same thing with you, man. Like it's meeting you, seeing all of you on like the screen, like being on Base Staff with you guys like once or twice, like that's one thing, and it's fun.
Yeah, it's cool.
You guys in person.
It changes. It's a whole different dynamic.
Yep.
Because I was going to get Adam back over here. That's his loss. You know what I mean? He's Swedish now. He's eating meatballs. But nah, I can't. He's gonna come back. We got to do a Base Staff meetup or something.
Oh, it'd be cool, man. I mean, it was to have like all of you there. Like it was it was just cool to like be, because again, you guys are, and for a lot of the people out there who are just viewers, you guys are like champions. You know, you guys are they tune in every Monday because
Yeah.
like, I don't want to miss what they're saying. Like I want to hear what's going on. You know,
Those are and that right there, that's the type of thing. I don't care how low my numbers dip, how high they get. The people who show up regularly are the ones that like are in my heart. You know what I mean? Like, okay, views are cool, but like the fact that there's anyone there supporting me, that's what keeps the confidence in my head. That's like there's something that I'm doing right. When there's people who are showing up, whether it's 5 people, 4 people, 10 people, 30 people, 50 people, 100 people, if people are showing up regularly, that means there's some type of something here that I need to cultivate.
Yeah.
Which is like inspirational for a creator, you know?
Yeah. And actually what, like, cause you've been a big supporter of Rumble, and the
Yeah.
one thing
And gender affirming care for children, but yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
so YouTube it's in a weird spot because YouTube, as much as they censor like what you have to be careful what you say on here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it's still, I wouldn't trade this community for any, right?
Absolutely.
It's hard. You just don't have the same like feeling over on Rumble. They have a lot of stuff that they're still working out over there.
Yeah.
But
I
like,
agree.
yeah, and it's
YouTube is my main, bro. YouTube is like, regardless of how tight the reins get, like I'm trying to build an audience on Rumble, but YouTube is what changed my life. Yeah. And it's like that it got a place in my heart just for that.
No, and you want to stay loyal because like the people who are supporting like here on YouTube, like
everyone ain't gonna go to Rumble.
Yeah, and that's just it. Is like I want people to know like I'm here on YouTube. I want to be present on Rumble, and I usually do like game streams over there and stuff. But there's still some setbacks like where it's just not as easy and convenient to start up a live stream.
Absolutely.
YouTube it is. There's still some
and pitfalls. There's no discoverability for content. You got to stream. You can't. If you wanted to upload, if you wanted to make an audience by like, oh, let me make pre-made content and throw it up there, it's not going to hit the same way as if you streamed it, which is like, that needs to fix. They have so many things they need to fix over there before they could actually like get YouTube's audience. Because maybe you can get creators by giving them money and giving them all these things, but like the audience, if they can't even chat because they can't figure out whatever it is the issue is, like there's a lot of people who be in my chat and like, I just can't chat. So I'm watching, but I can't interact. And it's like, who wants to not interact? They need to fix it.
Yeah,
there's a few things.
That is for sure something I've noticed about Rumble is like even when people come over, there's a lot less interaction. I don't know if that's because people don't know how or they're unable to.
Yeah, there's weird things. There's weird things going on. I'm not gonna lie. It's like I don't know because these companies don't tell you how their shit works. Instead, they're vague about it, and it's like I get it, whatever, because you're in competition, but you should tell your creators at least like be more vocal and be more open with how it actually works. Like YouTube won't tell you the algorithm. YouTube's like figure out this algorithm. We could all be having 100,000 subscribers, 1 million subscribers if they could just tell you, yeah, this is what it caters to, this is that, but they don't do it because they want you to be trapped in a flushing toilet, which I get, but they just need to be more vocal with their creators.
Yeah, I get nervous too because I love all the changes that they've made, all the updates that they've done, and it's really starting to catch up and be more seamless. Yeah. I get worried how much money that they're throwing out to creators because like I mean eventually you run out of money.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I feel like these got to be big checks that they're giving to people. So I don't know where it's coming from. I know they got investors. They've been around for like a decade now. So, and they're just now making this push. Maybe they've been making money this whole time. I don't know. Maybe they've been preparing for this type of campaign where they were just going to sign. They probably still have cap room. I feel like they're not that stupid. They'd be dumb to do like what Mixer did and just be like, hey, here's a bunch of shit, not knowing if people are actually going to come over here. Right. But like,
that's exactly what I thought of was like, Mixer did the same thing, and then they went tits up when once contracts are up, no one re-signed, and then the company was like, "We're out of money, we can't operate."
Yeah.
So
I hope that doesn't happen.
Right, and that's where
to YouTube.
Yeah, and YouTube has the market cornered on the video on demand, right? Like you search a video on how to chop a tree down,
Yep.
Like you're going to get 30 results or 3,000 results on YouTube, but there's not going to be any Rumble recommendations. So
Yep.
how do you integrate that into it? Because there's just
do they
no
even have
accessibility.
the server for that? Do they have a server that can handle people uploading as much content as like they say like so much time, so many minutes of content gets uploaded to YouTube like every hour, every minute. There's just mad content being uploaded. Could they handle that? I don't know if they could, because like sometimes they can't even handle streams with a lot of people in them. I don't know.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like it's all very expensive, and I want the best for Rumble because it's been a really cool ride so far. They have been putting in a ton of work to make the user experience a little bit easier. I heard some people saying that the mobile chat doesn't really work anymore. I know when I usually watch you on Rumble when I'm on mobile because I'm like kind of in between places. Like I know if my phone shifts to the other aspect,
You lose the
the
chat.
chat disappears on me.
Really? See,
Yeah.
I don't watch much from mobile. I'm gonna have to like take it up with them because I didn't know that happens. Why wouldn't? Of course, people want to watch it on portrait. I mean, on landscape. I would. So that's a dumb. They need to fix it then. I didn't know that happened.
I don't know why it does it. It could just be, it's just something silly that happens with, but
that's why they should be more. They should talk to their creators. Like there's people I stream every day and I have all these issues and I say them to them and it's like, okay, hopefully they're listening. I think they are, but I don't know. Like I've been asking for a static stream key for I don't know how long now. I've been asking for that for months. And when I told them I needed my stream key covered, they did it the next day. So it's like you probably could do it, but they're just I don't know.
It's that is something that would make. I mean, I would live stream every single video game stream if I had
a static stream key, right? So you don't have to go every time and be like copy paste copy. I hate that. I do it every time, but I hate it.
Yeah,
it's annoying. Like YouTube, that's why YouTube is seamless because it's literally my shit is connected to it. I just press stream and it automatically connects to the current stream.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's again, I'm all for adopting new things, and I've always tried to be on board. It's just at the end of the day, what it comes down for me is my time. I don't have time to set up a stream because I generally like when I do a live stream at night. My kids go to bed. They're in bed usually at 9 p.m. my time. 10 minutes later, I'm down here in my seat, and if I can't just hit like go live,
that's a lot of time wasted.
Exactly. I don't
absolutely.
I mean, I'm not Grandpa Flawd here. I'm not going to bed at 9 o'clock, but I can't be up all night long.
It was 8 last night.
Yeah, 8 o'clock?
A bit early. Yeah.
Oh my Lord.
I do go to bed early. That's because I'm like you said, I'm getting old. I'm getting up there.
There's something about. I heard the term recently. The thing that I do. I don't know if it's necessarily FOMO or some like dad version of that, but like it's basically FOMO where if I go to bed at 8 o'clock, I feel like I'm missing out on time with like my free time because I'm busy all during the day.
Absolutely.
So I'm like, oh no, I'll go to bed at 1 and only get 6 hours of sleep and but it's not good for my health.
I absolutely get that because I kind of feel that, but I force myself to go to bed because I'm like I should stay up because shit gets every Rumble kind of did that to me because they were like I was gonna go to bed and then they're like we're gonna be doing a raid on Rumble and I was like I'll stay up for that and then they just started doing it random. I'm like damn, so now I just have to be on Rumble 24 hours a day to figure out when y'all are gonna do a Rumble raid. That's so much work for me. That's why I just been like I'm going to bed because it's usually around 9, but I'm not waiting that long.
Right.
Unless I know I'm going to bed, bro, because it's like I can't just that shit. It'll keep me up, and I already have too much trouble sleeping.
Yeah. Some of the chat, Mike had bad knees. He said Rumble is trying to get to where YouTube is, but YouTube took 20 years to get to this point. That is
YouTube also started with regular content.
Yeah, that's true. They focused on video on demand for 15 years, and then the past 5 they've had, and actually their live streaming has only been pretty seamless in the past couple of years. It's not even, but and that's the thing is like it shouldn't take Rumble 20 years to get to this point, but it does take some time. And I know that, it all depends on what their prior infrastructure was. Because if you have a grass hut, you can't just build a mansion on top of that. You need to tear it down, pour a new foundation, and then up again.
That's what Chris was saying. That it's the code is basically like outdated code, so they have to like go in and change everything to make it current, which is why they don't have static stream key, which is why they didn't have a cash out button for my account, even though I had money in my account, and I had to actually hit them up and be like, I need the button, and they gave me the button after that, and they're like, yeah, that's a bug with the code. So a lot of things it's the code.
Yeah. No, and I had a feeling that was a part of the issue, that there was just, they're trying to build a city on top of a small house foundation, and it's like you gotta tear it up and start over again. And that's, and they're doing the best that they can, and the problem too is you can't have too much downtime. You have too much downtime, people are away, and I know I don't have time. So if a site is down, I'm going the other place. So
absolutely every time. That's the thing. Like, I'm going to Rumble to just build an audience, but if y'all are making it hard, then what's the point? Like, if you're gonna work against me, I could do that on YouTube. I could spend 100% of my time on YouTube and just adapt and figure that out. Like, I need the benefit of what you guys are saying you're offering.
Mm-hmm. And I see talk of like Google making money and stuff like that. I honestly don't know. One of the problems with YouTube is I think they've operated at a loss for many, many years. Transcoding is extremely expensive. Like transcoding is like basically taking your video, and it's what makes it possible to watch video live and across the internet, and it's really expensive. And I think that YouTube has operated at a loss in that way for most of its career. So I don't know if there's a whole lot of money. I mean, I think they make most of their money now. It's all of their ad revenue.
Yeah, it's advertising. Absolutely.
So,
I think they're probably, depending, I don't know, they're probably still operating at a loss because they have so much content being uploaded. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. But I think I think that's why they do the whole, they're like looking for any reason to demonetize people. Like they're just trying to, they know that they got the game in the chokehold, and they're trying to save money, I think, is what it really comes down to.
Yeah, it sounds like because they're beholden to the advertisers pull out. That's where they make money when someone's starts talking about the coof, and then they're like, well, wait, okay, we'll shut them up. Just keep giving us money, and it sucks. It sucks wall to wall when that comes.
Yeah,
because
the advertisement has been what killed everything.
Yeah, and it's driving people away, and stuff that's just been sort of proven right, or now,
and people still can't come back.
Yep,
people who were banned when they reported on something that was misinformation, supposedly.
Yeah, but it's unfortunate, but I try not to be the YouTube simp, and I try not to be the Rumble simp. I just try and do what I can and be.
The companies. I'm vocal about when I fuck with the company, but like if I feel like there's an issue, I'm not just gonna keep riding for the company. Like I saw Rumble put privacy, basically like a terms of service on their shit, or not like a terms of service. What is it? There was violations, is what it was. Policy violations, and they have a 3-strike rule now, just like YouTube. If they determine that it's not what they want on their site, if they have like a whole list of things, they'll just 3-strike you and out, and that's not free speech. That's the opposite already. Yeah. That quick.
Yep. No, and it's I don't know. I just don't think that you're going to get
big.
As much as these platforms are the town square of discussion, even Twitter, even something I've noticed about Twitter is like, since he stepped down as CEO, like I feel like my engagement's away, and I'm not anyone important, but it just seems like my engagement is down since he stepped down from his CEO position. So like, I wonder, like, are we ever going to truly have it in an area that we can just sort of speak our mind? Probably
my
not.
Engagement is definitely down.
Yeah. So it's like, and they have to make money. I get it. They need to make money in order to give us a place to talk. But the cost is we have to censor what we say. We can't just come out and say the things we want. And now none of the people that I know that have gotten in trouble, like Adam has like 9 strikes on his channel.
Yeah.
Like no one's being malicious in any of this. It's all,
Yeah, no.
we're just trying to speak our mind on something that we just disagree with. And I don't think anybody wants anyone to get hurt. You know,
Yeah.
I've met you guys all in real life. Well, besides Adam, you know,
Yeah,
but I
'cause
know
he's Swedish.
Yeah, because he's Swedish.
Yeah.
But I know that's not the case with you guys. It's more of like everyone I've come across has been like, I just want to talk about this and I'm not sure about this. Like,
Yeah.
what's going on?
I've never gotten a strike, but I've gotten my whole channel limited monetization for like a whole year straight.
Really?
Yeah, they limited every video I put out for a year straight, which like it really slowed my channel down. That's why to this day, like my channel is still like in a rut because of that. It basically like it stopped showing my videos to everyone, so people don't even know I exist. Like, oh damn, I haven't been on this channel in years. What's going on? I didn't even know you were still posting. And it's like, yeah, been here basically daily this whole time, and no one sees it. But
I was gonna say, do you do a show every day?
So it was Tuesday through Sunday is what it was, because Monday I do bass dive. So I would give myself Monday to make music and do whatever else I needed to do, and then Tuesday through Sunday, 5 till whenever, we would stream. But this week now I'm doing Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I'm taking Tuesday and Thursday off, and Monday I always have off because of bass dive. So I'm going to be able to, I need to start focusing on my actual video content on YouTube more, because I've just been slacking because I haven't had the time. But yeah, I'm trying to have a second channel. I'm trying to work on. I'm trying to get more back into my old content, edited content back, because I used to sit there and edit. I would make a video, I would edit it for like 8 hours and then upload it, and that was like the most successful time of my whole channel.
Really?
Except for actually when I started doing Flawdcast with Mo, but before that, it was just me making. I would pre-record a video. I wasn't even doing live streams. I would pre-record a video, edit it, upload it, and it would they would go crazy. They were just going crazy. But like now that the algorithm needs like a consistent, if it feels like people aren't watching your videos, then it will just like bury it down even deeper and just keep doing that. And it's like it's a crazy hole to dig yourself out of when they just put you in it.
Yeah. I gotta say, I love your and Mo's like reaction streams. Like that's really,
man. I love doing them. Yeah. I love doing them. Like it's a fun thing to do because we don't just do the reactions. We'll talk for an hour and then we'll do reactions, and then we try to like keep it lighthearted because there's too much doom and gloom. So I like to be before we were talking about like the Rittenhouse case. We were talking about, that's when my channel like really started doing numbers, was when I started talking about like politics and like gender ideology and all these things. My channel went crazy when I added Mo, and then we started talking about that. It went like, we got like 60K in a month. And then we started talking about shots, and they were like, get out of here. Immediately. For one stream for like 3 hours, we talked about Adam 22 trying to tell his friend that he should be getting shots and all this. And it was like, I didn't think, because my channel was doing so well, I was like, they won't stop. They won't do anything about it. Like, they're not going to give me a strike or nothing. They didn't, but they limited every video after that for a year straight.
Damn, dude.
Yeah.
No, I love tuning in, because like usually you guys go live like at the end of, like right at the end of my workday. I'm like about to go get my kids and stuff, so like I'll just put you on like my headset and I'll like have you on my, like as I'm driving around. But just hearing you guys like back and forth, like
trying to be as toxic as possible.
Yeah, no, that's so funny, and like I think people really dig that, you know, because you guys can be toxic to each other, but also it's not like you guys don't hate.
It's not real life. In real life, we're like the happiest people in the world. We get it all out on the stream and laugh at it.
Yeah.
Like even things, I'll be pissed off about something in the middle of the day that she did, and I'll be like, wait till I talk about this on stream, just to roast her. Then we'll talk about it on stream, I'll laugh about it, and then like it never comes up again. We don't really like, we're actually the exact opposite of toxic in reality. Very supportive, very like it's dope. 14 years later, it still feels like brand new.
14 years?
Yeah.
That's sick, dude.
Yeah, man. Like,
she's awesome.
Never would have thought that.
She's great.
She's cool. She's all right.
She's all right.
She's all right. She's all right.
No, man, this has been a great conversation, I think.
Yeah, it flew by. I didn't even realize it was an hour and a half already.
I know. I was just looking. I was like, man, flying by. That's why, like, if I could do this every single day,
you will.
This is what I would do every day.
You will. You will for sure. All you got to do is do it.
Yeah.
The content got to be made, and then it'll catch. And you got to make clips. That's what
the
you got to do.
clips is where I struggle because my time is like.
Yeah, that's the same thing with me.
Yeah,
same thing. It's damn near impossible. But I started putting Mo on that job. She quit within a week.
Yep.
Yeah, because she's that type. But
hey,
she did
video editors out there that want some work. Just let me know. I got some. I need some clips done.
The thing is like I don't even care. People could steal my clips. I don't care. I just need the exposure because I know we have in all of my streams we have plenty of viral clips. I guarantee it because we do hours and hours and hours and like we be dying. We just be smoking and dying the whole time.
Yeah.
So it's like there's plenty of content to pick from for crazy weird conversations that don't make sense that like we shouldn't be having. But I've been saying for like a while. That's the thing that like Zerka, Andrew Tate, Sneeko, all these people who are like taking over the internet right now. It's off of clips. They're just taking clips from conversations. Good conversations, uploading them. Oh, this is like framing it in a way with a headline and put that shit up, a 3-minute clip. You go viral. And it's like that's the key right now.
Yeah. No, and that's the thing is like I know that's the way to go. And I still and I'll just be honest, like I want to do this, and at the end of the day, I don't want to do work.
Me either.
I get it. Like, I know that the answer is do the work, put the clip out, and then it's there.
It sucks. Like, because after you make it, why you don't want to go? You're in the moment. Like, I don't want to go back and watch it, and because, like, and then have to figure out which parts I should be clipping, and then I have to, in order to clip it, you got to watch it. Yep. Like, I don't. That's so extra minutes is just it's just too much time. It's too much time. That's why people have editors. That's exactly why. I get it.
And like at this point, I'm at the point now where I'm like, I'll just pay someone to clip like 2 or 3 things from everyone. Yeah. Like that, because at this point, it's worth it to me to pay someone to do it because I don't have the time. And I like even if they clipped it and then I edited it, like I just need it taken out so then I can just put it because I'll sit there, it's going through it and finding that right moment.
That's the exact thing. I tried to figure out a way. I have like I don't have it anymore, but I did. I had like a Stream Deck pedal.
Yeah.
And it's like a Stream Deck, but it's a pedal, so you step on it. And I had it set up so it would timestamp. Like it would it would set a bunch of timestamps on my WordPad and just put it in like a folder. But I can't predict conversations. So it's like I would have the timestamp after, and it was like I was just forgetting sometimes because I just go with the flow, and it just became like it was stressing me out. So I was like, that's not an effective way for me to do it. I can't do my timestamps and do the show at the same time. There's no way.
I tried doing that. Like there is a way in the studio that you can put a stream marker. You have to like click it it's like in the top right. You can click it. There's not like a shortcut for it. Yeah, on YouTube. You can do it, but again, I have trouble.
You'd have to do it.
Talking to you.
You would have to be the one to do it.
Yeah. And
that's the issue.
I think the only way around it is if I had like a legit producer who was like had this pulled up on their machine and was like, okay, marker.
That's why Elijah does that. There's a few people that I know that have producers that are outside of where they're at. Like they're just in there. Like every time I went to Elijah's house, I didn't even know this was a thing because I do everything myself. But he has this dude, Brian, that is in a whole different state and is like doing the camera angle changes and like making sure doing the volumes on the vocals and everything. And it's like, if I had that, bro, and someone to clip, I'd be unstoppable. I would stream every day. I wouldn't even make content because that would be the content.
Yeah. No, and that's where I'm at. It's like, between the midweek hump, there's so many good clips in the midweek hump that go by because I'm so focused on the guests and everything that like for anyone out there who's looking for a little extra work,
like, someone will, bro. Someone will.
And we're getting there. Like these shows are doing really well, and they're like I think they're really productive conversations, especially with like people in this space. Like we may have gone over stuff that
it's been all good conversations.
Yeah, like it, and they're clippable. There's stuff, and again, I want to do this all the time. I would like to have one person every single day. We just sit, rap out for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Like,
I think that's why I know you're going to be successful because the conversations I've seen that you had, they're not like they're good conversations. You're a good interviewer. Is that the word? You're a good
Yeah.
interviewer.
Good
I don't want
host.
to say interviewer because it's really more like a conversation, but it's like technically that's what's happening. And yeah, you're good at it. You create good conversations.
No, man, thanks. It means a lot, you know, because it's tough. It's nerve wracking too, because you and I, we've talked in real life, but like once you get in the one on one setting too, like
Yeah,
it becomes like, oh shit, like what, you know, who am I? Like he doesn't have to be here. He's got over 100,000 subs. Like
you
the
get
fuck?
over it. That's why, bro. I told Craig, I'm like, you're gonna be my first guest on my channel, and then I just never did it because I was like, I don't even, bro. I'm gonna fucking fail. This dude is too big to be on my channel.
Right? Oh, I couldn't. When someone had said, I think No Green Rocks from Legion of Memers, he got Adam to come on our show the first time. Oh shit, my pants! Like, what are we gonna fucking talk about? Like, he's gonna be here? Like, but
As I feel
Adam,
every day before base staff. Like I'm
yeah,
like, okay, I gotta keep up with this dude because this dude, he's a professional too, and he has like a huge audience. It's like, damn,
right,
he's giving me an opportunity and a half. He's giving me all my opportunities. In reality, besides
yeah,
like the music ones, everything on this side it's come out of my association with Craigler. It's crazy.
yeah. He's a good dude because he's a good dude because he knows what he wants, right? Like it's like he
Someone just
draws a
said they'll
line
be
of
your
bullshit.
editor in your chat, but yeah, go ahead, my bad.
Oh, I saw. Yes, I did see that
Yeah,
commenter.
yeah,
Shoot me a DM, brother.
yeah.
But yeah, no, like the no, like the sort of like no nonsense, like he just kind of knows in his head, and that comes with experience, right?
Yeah.
Like his
He's great at
experiences in the
hosting, man.
past, like he draws a line. This is where it is.
Keeps it on the path, which
Yeah,
is like impossible for me to do. That's why when I started going on his show, I'm like, yeah, I got to change this format of my show. I'm like, I had to be more, I got to come in prepared, make sure we don't go too long on, but like I threw it out the window eventually because I was like, I'm just not Craig's. I can't do that. He's just
yeah,
really good at that. I have to do free form.
yep. No, it's and like I don't have anything written down. Like there's a couple people that that are planned in the future to come on that I will be more structured with because it sort of requires it. But
Yep.
you know, all you guys like Krigler, you, anyone else, like it just let's just talk, let's chill. There's questions I know
Always
I
will
want
have
to ask,
something. Yeah,
but
exactly. That's how like you're a real person first. So
yeah.
that's how your content it shows through your content.
Well, and I
Like
think people
you,
appreciate that more. Like the
yeah,
one I'm gonna do is sort of an interview dealing with like an independent movie, talking with a director and an actor. And like they do stuffy interviews all the time. So
yep,
like approaching them as like a normal person, like, hey, I'm a normal dude that watched this video and really
yep.
liked it. Like it'll probably be a breath of fresh air from them, you know?
Right. That's a great idea because you're thinking like in the mindset of separating yourself from other people. And
Yeah.
like that's what most people don't do. All these interviews, they are the same interview over and over. Like this, I could tell my story multiple different times. Like I go on Gothics, I tell my story, and it felt like I was telling it for the first time again. Talking to you felt like I was telling it for the first time again. It's like
Yeah.
it doesn't feel repetitive with some people. With other people, it does.
Yeah.
You know, with Craig's, it didn't feel repetitive. Like it was, we clicked so much that he was like, be on my show next week, and then next week, and then we'll just do a show. And it was like that doesn't happen with everybody. That type of thing, that type of like original feeling, even if it is the same things we're talking about, because you actually are interested, which
Yeah.
makes it like it doesn't just feel like I'm just reading a script.
Right.
I
So
want to
how did
start
you
doing
feel the
interviews.
morning
Oh,
you
go ahead.
woke up after you know, like that's just no. Like,
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like it sucked.
yeah, right. I had a
It definitely
headache, all
sucked.
right? Fuck.
It was terrible. I had a hangover.
No, man, for real. Like if you like this has been an awesome conversation, and we're gonna wrap this part of it up, guys. We're him and I are gonna talk for a little bit for an exclusive segment for locals. So down in the description, you can find my locals. Make sure you go become a member over there, and you'll be able to watch this afterwards. I'm putting up all of there's I think 4 post shows that are going up between today and tomorrow. So make sure you guys check those out. If you're a paid member, you
That's a
get
good
access
idea.
to them. And also, if you're a member on Rumble, if you're a member on YouTube, send me a DM. My DMs are open on Twitter. Tell me what that name is on locals, and I will give you the free membership if you're a paid member here. Just let me know. You'll get it over there, and you can watch all these post shows because they're not available unless you're paying. And I want to reward you guys for supporting me monetarily. It's been awesome. These shows are great, and usually the post shows are right on par, if not better, because we can be a little bit uncensored. But before we go, Flawd, tell them what you got coming up. What are you doing?
Pretty sure tomorrow I'm on Side Scrollers. June 20th, I'll be on Normal World with Garrett. I'll be on the first episode.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm performing. I think I'm gonna be in a sketch. Yeah, gonna be interviewed on there. Yeah, it should be fire. On the 7th, I'll be on Nina Infinity's channel. Tomorrow, not only Size Girls, I'll also be doing a locals exclusive live stream with X-Ray Girl. Oh no, the 2nd. My bad, not tomorrow. The 2nd, June 2nd, I'll be doing an exclusive local stream with X-Ray Girl. Yeah, so that's basically it.
Sick, dude. And for myself, guys, if you we are off from the midweek hump this week again. We took 2 weeks off to sort of regroup. Right now, there is a logo competition going on for the midweek hump. So if you're a digital artist of any kind, there's a link pinned on my Twitter profile, in my Discord, over in Amarada's Gilded. Go over there, enter to win. I think we're gonna print out like an actual poster size. So there's some requirements of you guys to do file size and DPI and whatever it is. Like you need to follow some guidelines. But we're looking for like a real professional logo that's gonna go on a poster for you. I think we're all gonna sign it. And then I think we're going to like give away like a $25 Steam gift card or something like that. So there's a lot of cool things to win if your design gets chosen. All the things need to be in by the 4th of June. We'll go over our favorites on June 7th when we return for the midweek hump. And Flawds are going to be joining us on June 14th. So make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Thank you guys so much. We're going to roll the credits and be out of here. We'll see you guys next time. Later.